Wellington Dukes TV is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill. Dukes fans, stop by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill on any home game night wearing your Dukes gear to receive 10% off your meal. The Sandbanks Bar and Grill, 153 Main Street, Wellington, Ontario. It's always better by the water. Hello again and welcome to Wellington Dukes TV. I'm Jason Parks of the Picton Gazette. Just a reminder that Wellington Dukes TV is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill, Main Street on Wellington. On the heels of a 5-game losing streak, the Wellington Dukes were able to build a 3-game winning streak last week and on Saturday climbed back into first place in the OJHL's Eastern Division. But their stay in the penthouse of the league's toughest division didn't last long, thanks to a pair of losses in a home-and-home sweep at the hands of the Whitby Fury. Let's see how Wellington fared last week. Wellington and Lindsay on Friday night to take on the Muskies at the Lindsay Recreation Complex. Wellington gets on the board first thanks to a neutral zone turnover. Joe McEwen will feed Abbott Gerdukas on the 2-on-1, and it's 1-0 Wellington after the first. Lindsay would tie it in the second, and then Bryce Sweeting finds Logan DeNoble at the lip of the crease, and the Muskies are in front 2-1. Wellington gets it back to even in the third on the power play when Spencer Turcotte rips home this loose puck, and it's 2-2. No scoring through the end of regulation and overtime. Duke shooting last in the round, and Stephen Deeg beats Brandon Francie with a nice move to get Wellington up 1-0 in the shootout. Joe Ficino will get a goal for the Muskies in round 2, beating Adam Wood. But at the other end, Mike Soucier fakes and fires to beat Francie, and Wellington leads again. Jake Ryan looking to extend the shootout, and Wood doesn't bite on his move. Wellington will take the win 3-2. Hey Dukes fans, just a reminder, season's ticket holders can pick up their Dudley Hewitt Cup packages for just $85 at the box office. The packages are available to the general public for a cost of $100. Don't miss the biggest junior hockey event in the history of Prince Edward County. Get your Dudley Hewitt Cup tickets today. Wellington and the Oakville Blades hooking up on Saturday. Wellington will once again open the scoring as Andrew McCann fires from the slot and stakes the club to a first-period lead. Oakville tied it later in the first, and then they take a lead in the second when Ross Sloan keeps and fires through Tyson Teichman, and it was 2-1 Blades after 40 minutes. Wellington ties it up and then goes ahead on Joe McEwen's nice wrist shot from the high slot. Less than a minute later, Eric De Laurentiis bags an insurance goal, and the Dukes go on to their third win in a row, beating Oakville 4-2. On Sunday, it wasn't pretty as the visiting Fury scored 4 to open the game. Mauricio Colella scored late in the second to get Wellington within 3. In the opening minute of the third, Wellington cuts the lead in half as Trevor Cope puts a dandy move on Boyd DiClemente, and it's 4-2. But that was as close as Wellington would get. Whitby adds an empty netter late and snaps Wellington's 3-game win streak. On Tuesday, the same two teams hooking up, this time at the Iroquois Arena in Whitby. Wellington with a great chance to open the scoring in the second, but Parker Wood is blanked by Tyler Fever, and the game remains scoreless. Wellington finally got on the board later in the frame when Mauricio Colella tips home a Trevor Abbott shot, and the Dukes had a 1-0 lead through 40 minutes. In the third, Whitby ties it up when Taylor Best dives at Tyson Teichman as he was covering up the puck, and the puck ends up in the back of the net, and the referees call it a goal. Later in the frame, Henry Thompson walks out of the corner and fires it through a maze. That was the game winner as Whitby picked up an empty netter late, with a second left to go in the third period to take it 3-1. After their busiest stretch of the season, things calm down for the Dukes as we head into December. Wellington hosts the Toronto Junior Canadiens at S-Rock Arena Friday evening, and then are on the road to play the Stouffville Spirit on Saturday night. The Dukes' next regular action will be next Friday when they take on the Kingston Voyageurs. But don't forget that the team is taking on a German-based junior hockey all-star team Tuesday night at S-Rock Arena. This game is a fundraiser for the Dudley Hewitt Cup this spring, and tickets for this international hockey event are just $10. They will be available at the Wellington Dukes box office. For Wellington Dukes TV, I'm Jason Parks.